Hi, my fellow artists. I want to share an art lesson with you today. Born in Malaga, Spain in 1881, Pablo Picasso became one of the greatest and most influential artists of the 20th century and the creator, along with Georges Braque, of Cubism. Here, the world map shows where we live and where Picasso created many of his masterpieces in Paris, France. He also worked in the United States, where we live. Let's take a look at these two artworks and compare and contrast. Pause the video now, if you like, and think about what is the same about these two works, as well as what is different. The work on the left, by Leonardo da Vinci, is the world-famous Mona Lisa. The work on the right is titled Dora Maar by Picasso. Mona looks very real, and although we can tell that Dora Maar is a woman, she is what we call abstract. In an abstract work, you can tell what the subject matter is, but it may have crazy lines or shapes instead of what the artist really saw. An artist uses his imagination to create an abstract work. The work on the left was created about 400 years before the work on the right. So this shows that art styles change as time goes on. Pablo Picasso created a new abstract style called Cubism. Cubism uses lots of shapes and colors to depict ordinary objects or people. These next portraits were created in the Cubist style. This is a portrait of his son, Claude, his daughter, Paloma, and their mother, Françoise Gillot. This Picasso portrait is titled Weeping Woman. Look at all of the diagonal lines that he used and the colors that he chose. Check out this painting. Look closely. What kinds of shapes do you see? What do you think is the name of this painting? You can pause the video and think about it. Can you find 3 musicians? Can you spot the dog? I can find a clarinet, a guitar, and a singer holding sheet music. Picasso's Cubist style is so different, yet so wonderful. If all art was the same, our eyes, minds, and hearts would be so bored. Let's use Picasso and his Cubism as inspiration for our own self-portraits. Watch me model how to make a self-portrait in the Cubist style. Then create your own. For this project, you can use any art medium that you would like. You could use a washable marker, a Sharpie, a mechanical pencil, a regular graphite pencil. Any of these will work. For this project, I'll use a Sharpie because you can easily see it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about my portrait. I really don't want it to look realistic at all. I want to be able to break my portrait up into different shapes and lines. So I'm going to make a crazy shape for the head. It doesn't have to be a perfect oval or anything like that. I'm going to do just a crazy shape to start. Alright, so this is going to be the head shape. And sometimes Pablo Picasso would do part of the face from the side, a side view or a profile view. Part of the face he would draw from the front, so it will be called a frontal view. I can do anything. I can mix up those views on the face if I like. So right down the middle, I'm going to do a line, and I'm going to put a nose in that line. So I'm going to put a nose right here. So I'm showing this person from the side. So this is going to be the forehead, the nose, and then the little chin here. And I could even do an eye from the side. And from the side, an eye lots of times looks like a triangle, even though we know that it's not actually shaped like that. When you look at an eye from the side, it looks more like a triangle than a circle. I could include the pupil. I can make shapes overlap shapes. And the cool thing about Pablo Picasso's Cubist style is you can take something that's normally round and you could change it into something that has lots of straight lines or diagonal lines. Diagonal lines slant like this. So I'm just doing a big diagonal or zigzag line that is a lot of diagonal lines. Now I've got an eye, I've got a nose, I've got some hair. I'm going to do an ear, but I'm going to put it up here. because my ear is crazy. Alright, I'm going to do some lips, and you can do the lips any shape or design that you'd like. You could put teeth inside. Now on this side of the face, I plan to do something a little bit different, just so I can mix it up. I could do an eyebrow here. He does still have some curvy shapes, so you can include those. Over here on this side, I'm going to do some different hair. And you could even think about your hair and get some ideas. Maybe your hair has a braid in it today if you're a girl, or maybe your hair is spiky today. So I'm going to put a braid here. Just by using some diagonals again. And it doesn't have to look like a perfect braid. Okay, on this side I'm going to do an eye from the front. So I'm going to do kind of a diamond shape, the eyeball inside. Then I'll do, so I just keep thinking and adding. The nose can kind of be for both sides. I'm going to do some crazy lips on this side. You could add a neck and shoulders. Whatever you decide to do is fine. For this one here, I did a little bit differently. I've got some wavy hair on this side. There's an earring on this side. So you can make the portrait however you want. It can be your own self-portrait. It could be a portrait of a friend. But then whenever you start to add color, you can use crayons, you can use markers, you can use anything. But an eye wouldn't normally be red here. It would normally be white, but you don't have to do that. With Picasso's style, it's very different. And the normal is not something that he did a lot of. So I'm going to include some crazy bold colors. You could also use colors to show feelings. Maybe your person is angry. You could use red. Maybe your person is sad and you might want to use blue. This is an indigo color. It's a blue violet. So I'm going to use that here. But do you see how neatly and boldly I'm coloring these? I make sure I stay inside the lines, make them look really, really nice. And by the time that I get done, I will have a wonderful Picasso style portrait.